let me ask you something. How many people do you truly know? Not their name, not their job, not where they grew up. I mean, really know. The fears they carry in silence, the dreams they've never spoken out loud, the version of themselves they hide even from the people closest to them. If you're honest with yourself right now, the answer might surprise you. Because here's the thing most people never realize. In a world more connected than ever before, loneliness is growing. And the reason is not that we talk too little, it's that we never truly see each other. Today, we're exploring the ideas inside a powerful book called How to Know a Person: The Art of Seeing Others Deeply and Being Seen. Written by David Brooks, one of America's most celebrated writers and thinkers on society, ethics, and human connection. David Brooks has spent decades writing about people, politicians, artists, ordinary men and women on the street. And after all those years, all those conversations, he arrived at one haunting question. Why do so many people feel invisible? This book is his answer. But here's what makes it different from every other self-help book you've ever read. It's not really about other people. It's about you. It's about how the way you see others is a direct reflection of who you are becoming, and how learning to truly see the people around you might be the most important skill you ever develop. Brooks starts with a confession. He admits that for most of his career, he was good at talking to people, but not so good at actually knowing them. He once worked with a group of high school students, and what he noticed shook him. Almost everyone, even close friends, only knew each other on the surface. People knew the names, the stories, the highlights, but nobody seemed to know what was really going on inside the person sitting right next to them. And then he noticed something else. Whenever someone took even a few minutes to genuinely listen, to actually pay attention, something in the room changed. People leaned in, their voices softened, something unlocked. He called those moments magical. Those rare electric moments when a person feels, truly feels that they have been seen. Brooks began to realize this hunger isn't just in teenagers, it's in all of us. At dinner tables, in office hallways, in the back seat of a taxi, in a bakery, everywhere, people are quietly waiting for someone to notice them, not just hear their words, but actually see them. And the people who learn this skill, the ones who genuinely make others feel known, are always the most loved, always the most trusted, always the ones who leave a mark. Most of us think we're good listeners. We're not. Brooks draws a sharp, almost painful line between hearing and truly listening. Hearing is passive. Someone speaks, sound enters your ears, and your brain registers it. But listening, real listening, is something far more demanding. It means placing yourself inside the other person's experience, feeling what they feel, tracking not just the words, but the emotion behind the words, the hesitation, the tone shift, the things they almost say and then pull back. Brooks says we live in a world of constant interruption. When someone speaks, most of us are already doing one of two things: preparing our response or letting our mind drift somewhere else entirely. And the person talking, they feel it every time. That moment, when someone realizes their words are landing in empty air, leaves a small wound. It says, "You are not important enough for my full attention." But Brooks offers something powerful. He says listening is a skill, and like any skill, it can be trained. He introduces the idea of active listening, and it goes far deeper than nodding and making eye contact. Active listening means paying attention to tone, to facial expressions, to silence. Yes, even to silence. Imagine a friend tells you she's fine, but her voice is flat, her answer comes too fast, and she changes the subject immediately. If you're truly listening, you catch all of that. That's not just hearing words, that's reading a human being. He also offers something so simple it almost seems too easy. After someone finishes speaking, wait one beat before you respond. One small pause. That pause sends a message. I am actually thinking about what you just said. Your words matter enough for me to sit with them for a moment. That single shift, that one deliberate breath, can change the entire quality of a conversation. Brooks is clear. People who truly listen are not just better communicators, they are more trusted, more loved, and more deeply woven into the lives of the people around them. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Most people think getting to know someone means asking questions, and they're right, but only half right. Because most questions don't open doors, they close them. What do you do for work? Closed. Where are you from? Closed. How old are you? Closed. These questions have answers, but they don't have depth. They collect data, they don't reveal a person. Brooks has spent years watching what happens when someone asks a genuinely good question, and the difference is extraordinary. Instead of asking, "What do you do for work?" try asking what part of your work actually means something to you. Instead of "Where are you from?" try what's something about where you grew up that still shapes the way you see the world. Watch what happens when you ask someone a question like that. They pause, their eyes change, something shifts in their face. Because you didn't ask them to recite information, you invited them to reflect, to discover something, maybe something they've never put into words before. Brooks says the best questions are the ones that make the other person think about themselves in a new way, questions that feel like a gift, not an interrogation. He also warns about something most of us do without realizing it: judgmental questions. Why haven't you settled down yet? Why don't you have a better job by now? These questions contain a verdict, and the person on the receiving end feels it immediately. They become defensive, they close off, and the chance for real connection disappears. Replace the judgment with curiosity. Instead of "Why are you still single?" try "What matters most to you in a relationship?" The difference is not just politeness, it's a completely different message. It says, "I want to understand your world, not judge it." And here's the most powerful insight in this entire section. When you ask the right question and truly listen to the answer, you're not just getting to know the other person, you're helping them get to know themselves. You become a mirror, a space where they can think out loud and discover layers of themselves they didn't even know were there. That is not just conversation, that is transformation. Brooks introduces one of the most important ideas in the book. Every single person you meet is wearing a mask, not to deceive you, but to survive. In professional settings, in social gatherings, even in families, we present the curated version of ourselves, the polished, acceptable, functional version. But behind every face is a universe, stories that have never been told, failures that are still quietly painful, dreams that feel too fragile to speak out loud, fears that live in the dark. Brooks says the real art of knowing a person is learning to look behind the mask, gently, without judgment, and see the actual human being on the other side. He offers a practical path. Pay attention to the small things. When someone tells a story and their voice suddenly softens, notice that. When someone's eyes light up at the mention of something, notice that. When someone pauses mid-sentence and seems to swallow something, notice that. These are not small moments. These are windows, brief, flickering openings into who someone actually is. And then Brooks says something that most people miss entirely. Truly seeing someone doesn't mean seeing only their strength. It means seeing their wounds too, their contradictions, their broken places,
the parts of themselves they are most ashamed of. Because we are not our highlight reels. Every single person is a complex mixture of triumph and failure, confidence and fear, love and hurt. And when you can look at someone fully, with all their mess and all their beauty, and still hold them with respect and warmth, that is when real connection becomes possible. Brooks takes this further. He says sometimes the greatest gift you can give another person is to become a mirror for them. Not a critic, not an advisor, not someone who jumps in with solutions. A mirror.
Someone who reflects back what they're seeing, so the other person can see themselves clearly, perhaps for the first time. A friend comes to you. She's overwhelmed with a difficult project at work. She talks about it nervously, quickly, unsure if she should even be bringing it up. There are two ways to respond. You could jump in, give advice, tell her what she should do. Just push through it, you say. It's not that big a deal. She nods, but inside she feels dismissed, as if her struggle didn't deserve to be taken seriously. Or you pause. You let her words settle. And then you say, "From everything you've described, it sounds like you've been carrying this alone for a long time. That must be exhausting." Watch what happens in her face. Something releases. Her shoulders drop. Her eyes may even fill with tears, not because things are worse, but because for the first time she feels that someone actually sees the weight she's been carrying. That is the power of reflection. Brooks says that reflecting someone's feelings back to them with accuracy and compassion is one of the most profound acts of human connection. It doesn't require expertise. It doesn't require perfect words. It just requires presence and the willingness to truly see. He also points out something remarkable. The words we speak to people can reshape how they see themselves. A teacher who says, "I see something in you," to a struggling student can change the direction of that child's entire life. A manager who says, "You handled that with real skill," can transform how someone sees their own ability. We are constantly, whether we realize it or not, shaping the self-image of the people around us. Every word matters. Every act of attention matters. Now Brooks steps into the most intimate territory of the book. He begins with a striking observation. In today's world, with social media, messaging apps, instant communication, we have more ways to connect than any generation in history. And yet, between so many people, there is an invisible wall, built from misunderstandings, from judgment, from the fear of being vulnerable. And on both sides of that wall, people are quietly aching for connection. Brooks says the only way to break down that wall is to build a bridge instead. But here's the secret most people miss. You cannot build a bridge from only one side. To build a real connection, you have to go first. You have to be willing to be vulnerable, to share something real, something uncertain, something that shows your human side before the other person feels safe enough to do the same. This is terrifying for most people. We've been taught in so many ways to appear strong, certain, together. But Brooks argues that vulnerability, real, honest vulnerability, is not weakness. It is the very foundation of trust. He describes those long, late-night conversations we've all had, the ones that stretch past midnight, where time disappears, where you say things you've never said out loud, where you leave feeling like you truly know someone and truly known. What made those conversations possible? Someone was willing to go first. Someone cracked open the door, and the other person walked through. Brooks also emphasizes the importance of finding common ground, especially with people who seem very different from you. Different backgrounds, different beliefs, different lives. He says, look deeper. There is always something shared. A childhood memory, a fear about the future, a quiet hope for something better. It is in these shared places that walls come down and real friendships begin. A meaningful relationship, Brooks says, is like a bridge built by two people together. Both must contribute, both must listen, both must be willing to trust. And when both people do that, something extraordinary happens. A connection forms that is no longer just pleasant or convenient. It becomes essential. And now we arrive at the question that everything has been building toward. What happens to a person, to their actual life, their actual well-being, when they are truly seen? Brooks is direct. When a person feels genuinely seen, not judged, not categorized, not dismissed, something in them changes. Their self-worth grows. They feel a sense of value, not because they've accomplished something, not because they look a certain way, but simply because a human being looked at them and said, with their full attention, "You matter." Research confirms what our hearts have always known. People who grow up or live in environments where they feel seen and understood are significantly more resilient, more hopeful, more capable of facing hardship. Brooks shares story after story of ordinary moments that became turning points. A teacher who paused and really looked at a struggling student, and that student went on to achieve things no one expected. A leader who took time to understand each person on her team, and that team performed beyond all expectations. A parent who put down the phone and really listened, and a child felt safe enough to tell the truth. These are not dramatic moments. No one wrote them in the history books, but they changed lives. Brooks ends with what he calls the positive cycle. When you learn to truly see others, to listen with patience, to ask with curiosity, to hold people with compassion, you don't just change them, you change yourself. You become someone who carries warmth into every room, someone people want to be near, someone who makes others feel more alive simply by being present. And as a result, you begin to be seen more deeply too. The more you give this gift, the more it returns to you. You give presence, you receive trust. You give curiosity, you receive honesty. You give compassion, you receive intimacy. And slowly, without even trying, your life fills with relationships that are no longer just convenient or habitual, but real, nourishing, irreplaceable. Brooks closes with something worth carrying with you. Learning to see people deeply, truly, patiently, without judgment is not just a social skill. It is a way of moving through life. Every person you pass has a world inside them, a world full of stories and scars and hopes you know nothing about. And every time you slow down, every time you choose to look, to ask, to listen, you give that person something rare. You say without words, "I see you. You are not invisible to me. You are worth my full attention." And in doing that, in giving that gift to the world, you become richer yourself. Not in money, not in status, but in the only currency that truly matters at the end of a life. The depth of your connections, the warmth of your presence, and the quiet, lasting knowledge that the people around you, because of you, felt truly, completely seen.